Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm gonna be making pad thai today. I love pad thai, but when you go to the restaurant, it's not vegan because they use fish sauce and everything, especially Thai food. So again, I'm not an expert at Thai cooking, but I've made it a lot at home and I've looked at a lot of recipes. And so this is the version that I like to make at home. I think it's close to authentic. I don't know, you tell me if you're Thai and if it's not authentic, except for the fish sauce part, let me know. So before we get started, I have, again, I roasted my own peanuts. So if you want to chop this up without using a cutting board or mortar, easy way would be to kind of like bang it. I have some plastic wrap here because we don't want our peanuts to go everywhere. So I'm gonna place them onto some plastic cling wrap. Then I'm going to kind of like fold it over so that nothing will escape. I mean, like, hit it with whatever you have. If you have a giant rolling pin, you can hit it. If you have a large pot, you can hit it. Whatever works for you. So just kind of like hit it like this. And we want the peanut in like pieces, as long as they're broken up into pieces. Because what we're doing is, this is about 3/4 cup of peanut. Okay, so now that we have our peanuts, see, some of them are still whole, and that's fine. Because I hit them and then some of the oil came out. Even the non-broken ones. And all that goodness. I love peanuts. Next thing we're gonna get ready is our noodles. I'm using the same rice noodle that I made the pho with. It's the wider noodle. So I'm going to take, so today we're aiming for like 2 portions. So this is a 14-ounce bag. I'm only gonna do half of it, so 7 ounces of noodles. I have a bowl here ready. And for this, we're gonna need warm water, like almost like bath water, but a little bit cooler. It's not like the pho where you want it to be completely soft. So we're just gonna pour like simmering water, and you just add a little bit of cold water to it so that it's not so hot. And we're gonna let it soak for only 5 minutes. So while my water is heating up, I have my just egg. Again, I don't like the way it sticks to everything, so we're gonna add, for the whole bottle, we're gonna add about a tablespoon of cornstarch into it. It actually made better eggs, well, in my opinion, because it didn't stick everywhere. So we're just gonna shake this up. So my water is at 123, 130 temperature wise. So it's warm that I can touch it. but it's not gonna burn me. So I have it soaking in here. So in 5 minutes, I'm gonna take the, so while we have our noodles ready, we're gonna make the sauce. So for the sauce, of course it's gonna have tamarind. We have about 3 tablespoons of tamarind here. And then we have, I'm gonna put 2 different kinds of sugar. Because the brown sugar is not sweet enough. Usually they'll use palm sugar, but I don't have any. So I have about 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, and then 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. And then to this we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar. And then we're gonna add juice of 1 lime. This is kind of fun to use because it gets the most amount of juice out of the lime. So I've seen a lot of versions where they use ketchup. So and they do eat quite a bit of ketchup in Asia in general. So if you are making it for kids and you don't want it to be spicy, to have that red color, you can put ketchup in here. I would just take out some of the sugar. I would probably take out all of the granulated sugar, and I would add about 3 tablespoons of ketchup. But we're not doing that today. We're just using a tablespoon of paprika for the color. And I like mine to have a little bit of heat, so I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of sriracha. And then it's supposed to have fish sauce, but you know my fish sauce trick, right? By now, I have 4 ounces of kelp and 6 mushrooms. I always have this in the refrigerator. With about 4 cups of water, I would boil it, bring it to a boil, then simmer it, and then I have this really nice seafoody kind of like tasting broth. So I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna add about 1/4 cup. And then this is our sauce. My bowl was too small, so I changed it for a larger one. So you're gonna stir it until the sugar dissolves, and then I'm gonna add some salt to it because my version of the fish sauce doesn't have any salt in it. So I'm just gonna add about a teaspoon, and then later on, if there's not enough salt, I will add more to it. So our sauce is done. Our egg is ready. Now we gotta get our tofu ready. So you cannot just put a firm tofu right from the water here like this. I've had pad thai at a restaurant where they use baked tofu, which is a lot firmer. I've also had it in a restaurant where they kind of like deep fry the tofu so that it's firm when you put it into the pad thai. And I kind of prefer this tofu more than the baked tofu because the tofu will also absorb some of the sauce. So before I go on to my tofu, you see how the noodle is starting to soften up. I think it has a little bit more to go. Maybe another like few more minutes. Maybe 5 minutes is not enough. Maybe about 10 minutes more altogether. So I'm just gonna leave this soaking here. So we're gonna use half of this. I'm gonna slice it in half. Then I'm going to cut it into manageable sizes. So it's about 2 inches this way, and it's about 3/4 of an inch this way. And I'm just gonna make sticks. like that. Okay? So once we have our tofu pieces, we're gonna have to pat it dry. So lay it on the cutting board. And kind of pat them dry. I'm kind of like in an olive oil mood today. I think it tastes better. So we're gonna add about a few cups just so that the tofu can fry in here. Actually, since I'm using a oil for fryer, I'm going to fry all of it and only use half. That way I have some for next time and I'll just keep it into the freezer. So I'm gonna slice these also, rest of it. Might as well. I try not to use paper towel as much as possible because I kind of like have that green mindset. So I have these towels that I use all the time, and then when they get soiled, I have a solution of like baking soda, OxyClean, and a little bit of bleach in here. So I put my towels in here and let it soak until the bucket's full, and then I wash it. Once the oil comes up to temperature, I'm gonna put in my tofu. It's ready. Oh, I love the smell of tofu frying. When I grew up in Hawaii, we used to live. We kind of lived in the projects. It was called where was it? Right across Mayor Rice. It was those of you that live in Hawaii know. It was on Liliha Street. It was literally like 5 minutes walking distance from the tofu factory. And then when we go to the tofu factory, you smell this oil of like them just frying the tofu. Oh my god, that place is magical. I don't know if it's still there or not, but you can buy like bucket of back then. This was about 30 years ago. You could buy a bucket of the sundubu, or the Japanese call it yudofu, for like $5. A gallon bucket you can buy for $5. And then we would like press it even ourselves to make soft tofu or firm tofu for frying or making mandu. Oh my god. That place was, I think it's still there. I've seen some posts on Facebook about it. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna fry it until it's golden brown. So it took about 3 to 4 minutes, and you see how golden brown my tofu is. So the outside gets nice and crispy, and it developed this layer of skin, so that when we stir fry this, it's not going to break apart. So once it's golden brown like this, we just take it out. See how I didn't overcrowd the pan? I could have put all of it, but then the temperature would drop drastically and it's gonna take longer for it to fry, and it probably will get soggy with oil in the middle. So I'm gonna fry the rest of this, and then we'll come back when it's all done. So while this is frying, I have our noodles here, and it's become pretty loose. I'm gonna take it out of the water and then just keep it like this. After the tofu is fried, we're ready to make our pad thai. Oh, I'm getting so hungry. This is my lunch. And I still have my papaya salad from yesterday and the green beans. Oh, today's lunch is gonna be delicious. So basically the tofus are all done now. So I'm gonna turn this off and drain it. This tofu is so delicious. I mean, you could just fry it like this and then eat it with teriyaki sauce. Or just like salt and maybe some cayenne. Oh. Yeah, that would be yum. Okay, so now that our tofu is ready, I'm gonna drain most of this oil. So I have about three to 4 tablespoons of oil in here. I'm gonna add about half a cup of julienne onion. Then we need some garlic. I have about 2 cloves of roughly chopped garlic. For this, you don't want it really finely minced, because with the onion on this high heat, I have it on high heat right now. It's gonna just scorch the garlic. So I'm gonna throw in my garlic. This smells so good. Then I'm gonna throw in half my tofu. And then on the side of it, I'm gonna cook about 4 to 5 ounces of egg. So equivalent about 2 eggs, 2 large eggs. Even with the starch, it's kind of sticking a little, but it's okay. I'm just happy that I get to have something like an egg in a pad thai, because 5 years ago we didn't have just egg. We just had to deal with like not eating egg if you're a vegan. So once the egg is pretty much cooked, you're gonna toss it in all together, and then you're gonna add your noodles. You kind of scrape the egg from the bottom. Oh yeah. Basically the noodles are pretty soft already. We're just cooking them, and then now we're gonna add our sauce. I'm gonna add all of it. you could smell this. This smells so wonderful. The only problem is my heat is not hot enough. So we're gonna let it come to temperature. We're gonna let the sauce get soaked up. I'm so excited, everyone. I just ate a piece of tofu that fell out. Okay, now it's coming up to temperature. And you see the sauce is gonna get all soaked up by the noodle. That's why we don't soak it for more than half an hour or even like overnight. Because we want the noodle to get soft, but we still want a little bit of a soaking power from the noodle. So that when we cook this, the noodle's gonna soak it up without falling apart on us. So the sauce is like going. Half of it is already absorbed into the noodle and the tofu. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I look like a nerd, don't I? A food nerd. Or just a piggy. Oink oink. Here's Kermie. So in Thailand, they usually cook it in a wok like Chinese stew on a high heat. But at home, we don't really have that, so we just do best with what we have. And then I have some garlic chives here. I have about half a cup. I'm gonna throw it in towards the end, along with half. This is about 4 ounces of bean sprout. I'm gonna add about half. Because the other half, we're gonna put it on top fresh. Oh yeah, now the heat's going. We're gonna wait until all the sauce gets absorbed. And we're gonna also add a handful of the peanut. And we're gonna save a lot of it for the garnish on top. I put a lot of garlic chives. You can put less if you want, but I like the color and the way it tastes in pad thai. If you don't like chives or garlic chives, you can substitute it for green onions. Just cut it into about 1.5 inch, 2 inch length. Just toss it in here towards the end. Sometimes I like putting cilantro on top too, as a garnish. But that's not really traditional, so that's why I'm not gonna put it today, so that I'm not gonna get all these hate comments from the Thai people saying, that's not Thai. Okay, so you see how most of the sauce is absorbed? Oh my god, it's making my mouth water. Yum. So we're gonna cook it, so this is not supposed to be a saucy noodle, but it's not a super dry noodle either. So it's like an in-between noodle. So if your noodle soaked up too much of the liquid and it's kind of dry, you can, I should have saved some rice soaking water and put it in here, but I didn't. At home you can save some of that and throw it in here if your noodle looks too dry. Oh, you see how my tofus are not breaking apart? They like absorb all that sauce too, so it's gonna be really delicious. Alright, so my pad thai is pretty much done, basically. When you don't see a pool of sauce, that's done. Before I plate it, I want to taste it for salt. Because remember, my fish sauce didn't have any salt in it. It's hot. It's good, but I think it needs a little more salt. So I put about a teaspoon in there. I'm going to put about another half a teaspoon. it's not a dry noodle, so I have a hard time tossing this. So I can't even talk, I'm so excited. Our pad thai is done. This should be enough for 2 people or 3 if you don't eat a lot. And I like to garnish it with a little bit of grated carrots. And then the fresh bean sprouts and some peanut right on top. And here we have our pad thai. Oh my god, looks so good. Oh, so we can't forget the slices of lime that goes on top to sprinkle it. So here's our salad from yesterday, papaya salad, and then our leftover sauteed green beans or long beans. Oh. So what I like to do is kind of like put some more lime juice on top. This is gonna be breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then just kind of like toss this. Oh, my mouth is watering so bad. Oh yeah. You could actually throw in the chives a little later. I think I threw it in there a little too early, so they're kind of like mushy, but it's okay. The flavor is still gonna be there. As long as you have that crunchy bean sprout. Oh my god. Getting some tofu. All right, time to eat. Oh my god. First bite. This one you can't really slurp because there's like a thick sauce on there. So good. And the tofu will absorb all that sauce in there too. Totally vegan. Yum. Gonna have some of my papaya salad. This papaya salad will have a lot more flavor today because it had time to sit in there and all the flavors are just kind of developing and getting into the papaya. So as I'm eating this, I'm getting the tanginess, sweetness, a little bit of heat from the sriracha that I put in here. Then the nuttiness from the papaya. I mean the nuttiness from the peanuts. Can't even talk because it's so good. And then that fresh taste of the bean sprouts. Texture wise, you have that bouncy chewiness of the noodle, and then the soft texture of the some parts of the noodle, and then you have that crispy peanut, and you have this chewy tofu. That was delicious. Looks like we can eat this for dinner one more time. Oh, it's already almost 1, so this was my lunch. So delicious. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I'm in no way an expert at cooking Thai food, but it's hard to get vegan Thai food unless if you're in Hollywood. So it's one of those food that I love to eat, Thai food, and pad Thai and papaya salad are one of my favorites. So I cook this a lot at home, and I thought I would share with you how I make it vegan, and hopefully it inspires you to make your own also. Again, press the like button if you like this video, share it with all your friends, subscribe. Also, I don't know, leave a comment if you want to see something new. A viewer asked me to make kimchi fried rice, so I think I'm gonna do that after I do the devil's food cake. I have a really nice devil's food cake recipe from CIA. Those of you that don't know what CIA is, the Culinary Institute of America, I graduated there like in '99, so that's like, how long is that? 22 years? God, I'm old. Anyways, so, and that was a recipe that we got from this old Italian-American chef named Chef Massey. He's no longer with us, rest in peace. But yeah, his recipe makes the most moist, delicious devil's food cake. Even the frosting is made homemade. So I'm gonna do a video on that. We'll do maybe like little cupcakes, and I'll show you how to do like a 6-inch cake. And yeah, stay tuned. Well, I'll do the devil's food cake, and then I'll do the kimchi fried rice. And maybe with the kimchi fried rice, I'll do chicken katsu, which is basically breaded chicken, but we're gonna make it vegan. So we're gonna make seitan that we're gonna bread and deep fry. Okay? So I'll see you next time, okay? Bye!